Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a quick message for you. And by quick, I do mean quick today. I promise. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. That's where I stopped shuffling. That's where the bottom is, and I feel like that's a big gift coming in. Some big opportunity or offer that's coming in that's going to be, of infinite proportions. Ethereal magnificence, something you wouldn't have even imagined was possible, perhaps, and that has infinite potential. So let's see what that's about. That was a great way to start, right? If I do say so myself. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, looks like you're waiting on it. Wow, there's the gift. It may be something that has taken a long time to come through. Almost seemed like it took forever with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like, maybe it was waiting on some other outcome or some change of energy to transpire before it could advance toward the receiver, which in this case is the Queen of Pentacles. Now she has a gift of her own, as we can see. She's I love this because it just implies that, as a feminine energy, you're not waiting for no knight in shining offer. You're already tending to your own garden and your own kingdom. But the knight in shining offer that comes along is truly of added value, because there's one thing about the King of Pentacles. When he comes through, it's a stable offer that you can depend on, and he's been so grounded with his preparation that's why it's taken a long time. He grounded himself in his preparation so that he could present the best possible offer that he could make, because after all, it's the Queen of Pentacles, so you got to come correct, right? But it seems there was something in waiting here. Oh, let's see. Here's the bottom of the deck here, which is, that's what I said too. I said a change in energy. Let me pull it down a little bit. There was a change. There was waiting for a change in energy, and I'm hearing like healing. There was some healing that needed to take place energetically and emotionally before this knight, or whomever he is, could feel confident with the wand energy to make an offer. There was a lot of loss perhaps in the past, and it was probably, this card is of some depression, some past disappointments that lead to some emotional imbalance, and wouldn't you rather that your knight in shining armor clear all this up before they come bringing it all to you? You don't want those cups of despair, so there was some healing that was taking place before this transition could happen. So that's good. Again, like I said, the offer is solid from the King of Pentacles, because he's dotted all his I's and crossed all his T's before he even got on the road. Meanwhile, you like, where is he already? Let's see. I like how that's popping up, and that's there. Let's see what's this. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. All right. Well, we got the Lovers, we got the Judgment card, and we have the Six of Cups. Okay. Now, obviously, the Lovers is, a powerful card of divine union, about being in spiritual alignment with yourself and being attractive to a partnership that is also in that alignment, meaning you're balanced, he's balanced, and now you guys can attract each other. And it looks like it's like oh my gosh, yeah, Judgment. I'm not really feeling I'm not feeling it how it's supposed to be felt, because the Judgment is a powerful card here. It's like a resurrection of past life unions. And this could be personally or professionally, intimately, or what's the other word I like to say? either intimately or I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love situation, but by God, you know, with me starting here on that note and here, it kind of does feel that way, right? So I'm reading it two ways. There's judgment calls on past relationships that were out of alignment, and there's also judgments and new opportunities, regeneration for alignments that are sacred and divine to materialize in this realm now. You know, so there once upon a time might have been a connection that you know, had its value at one particular time, or at least had some value. I don't know, you know, how long term that value was holistically, but it served a purpose ultimately. There's either an ending to, you know, that purpose, that path, so that new, more elevated and exalted expressions of love and connection and creation can come into alignment. Yeah, pretty much so. It's ending one to begin another, and it's saying that, you know, the ones that are beginning, that are manifesting now and being created now are still of a divine nature. That's that gift that started in the beginning. That is the gift. The coming together of these partnerships and these unions that are extremely prosperous, because the Lovers is definitely a prosperous card. And when it's called into creation from a divine perspective, it's everlasting, you know. So, and it also has this past essence, this familiar essence as well, which is why it could be either or. It has a familiar essence as well because it's something that has already been ordained in the spirit realm. may even be a regeneration of experiences from past lives, or just a past experience in this life that is now getting a second chance to thrive because the alignments are different for it to come to life in a more prosperous way, you know. All right, so, and look at this. This is what I was saying. This was peeking out, which is the Four of Wands, which is that same union surviving some great challenges, you know, to come into success, you know, and to manifest in a sense. Both of them have undergone some challenge in one way or another to come together, or have been charged in their lives in some ways to come together in union, but they make it no less, you know, to victory and success together. And what energy is on the bottom? Let's see. Is this energy here? Oh wow. Okay, that's how we do. Oh, and oh, can you see this? Yes. Okay. So this is reflective of that past relationship energy, or past connections in general, because these could be platonic or intimate, you know. When it's the Two of Cups, it could be friends, or it could be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. But this is exactly that expression of that there, where this energy would want to come back in and reestablish itself, because a lot of times, you know, when you leave the past in the past and it doesn't really have a promising future, which is kind of exemplified here, it often wants to try to come back and reclaim what it knows it lost, you know, or what it's missed out on. But there's no space for that energy right now, you know. Though if it wasn't, if the alignment wasn't created in the most organic and, you know, divine sense, with divine intentions, or just with productive intentions in general, it's going to fall away. You know, this is when you know, you're poor, you're out in the cold looking for, perhaps they're going to be looking for love, or looking for relationships that can match to what they had, or opportunities that can amount to what they had. But the Two of Cups versus the Lovers is really not the same vibration. It doesn't vibrate the same way. It's almost like a settling in a sense. So, just be careful not to be chasing old opportunities that just don't have place and value in your life anymore, because they won't be as satisfying. Even if you were to build the connection again, it still won't be holistically satisfying to your heart's desire. And this energy is like looking and watching. Oh shoot, I didn't even see the death card here. Shoot. This energy is looking and watching. I'm seeing like scoping out an opportunity for advancement, trying to stalk a new situationship. That's what I hear, like off the top, like trying to stalk for a new way to satisfy that void, of partnership. Because this definitely signifies a loss of partnership, whether it was this past energy or just whether it was in life, just some poorly invested energy in situations and agreements and alignments that weren't divine and didn't yield high value fruit. So now you'll be stuck looking for a new opportunity to put yourself back on the throne. But that ultimately, if you do it in a way that is mentally manipulative, like you're trying to manipulate circumstances just to fit in to some situation that's not divine for you and that's not ideal for you, ultimately, it's going to lead to destruction. It's not going to be prosperous. It's not going to lead to the outcome of this passionate new beginning, almost like the Ace of Pentacles, but a passionate beginning, a passionate start, this divine inspiration. It doesn't lead to that. It actually is the killer and destroyer of divine inspiration, because divine inspiration can't thrive in inauthenticity. It can't thrive in fake unions and people. This is what it's giving me, is people coming together for clout and for advancement and for coins, even still, like trying to project some type of relationship to the public or project a connection for the purposes of gaining some material outcome, but it doesn't go far, and it's time's up for that. That's why you see couples breaking up every which way, like on social media and stuff like that. These couples that they're on YouTube and wherever else, that presented themselves in a certain way for the purposes of entertainment. That's what it's giving me. This is like, this is a show. You know what I mean? It's not real. See how he's looking upon it? It's not real. If you are positioning yourself in partnership for entertainment purposes only, it's going to falter, because now is the time for true passion that is led by the spirit, that is guided in spirit and in truth. Why? Because it's just, people are too impressionable now to still be susceptible to lies. We're all being called to a higher awakening, a greater awakening, and to be exalted in our life experiences, mind, body, and spirit. So if you're contributing to a system that's broken, that really hasn't yielded much, but leading more people down the path of destruction and fake relationships that ultimately yield fruit that is rotten ultimately, because sometimes people have babies and they don't really truly love and value each other. Sometimes people start businesses that are just for the coin and the clout, so it's not really serving anybody in a holistic way. There's all types of things that can come out of phony situations that ultimately just don't contribute to the health and wealth of society as a whole. And whereas that energy still exists and persists in this time, we're evolving to a space where we're positioning ourselves in passion that is pure and we're releasing energy that is not in alignment with our purest passion, so that we can attract that which is and create things that are evolved and advanced in society. We don't want to keep regenerating the same old trash, ultimately, like trash TV, trash social media. Exactly. Look at that. Wow. It's the world moving forward, people moving forward in a higher exalted experience of life, looking back at, leaving that the illusions of the matrix, so to speak, behind, where we stake our value in material and success that is not sound, and doing things that are in conflict with our spirit and our soul, literally, and relationships that are in conflict with our spirit and our soul, for the sake of some material exchange. That's old world mentality, whether you believe it or not. Like I said, it still exists and it still persists in this moment, but the spirit is calling us higher. For those that are willing to go a little bit higher, you're going to experience a higher octave of life, in that regard, if you're willing to receive it. All right. And here is that right here, with the good old Queen of Wands, who is empowered by her passion, very much in alignment with what I've been saying here. There's been what's the right word? I don't want to say inorganic, but like manipulated passion, and then there's pure passion. So doing things just because they gain a return or a desired outcome, for your own personal interest, for lust. There it is, for the lust of the world, for people, places, and things that only satisfy the sensational part of you, but don't really gratify the spiritual essence of you. The Queen of Wands is like the mix of both. She's very sensational. She loves pleasure, as a matter of fact, but she wants it from a pure place, and she wants to give it from a pure place. She's looking to be satisfied in her spiritual essence, because the Queen of Wands is a very ethereal queen, that she relies on energetic forces beyond her conscious understanding, as much as she relies on her own power. That wand that she wields is like her staff, her magic wand, in a sense. She knows that she has magic within her being, and she knows that she has access to magic beyond her knowledge, or at least beyond, like I said, her consciousness. She creates from both of those perspectives. In order to be able to do that, you have to be pure, because you can't will, otherwise you become manipulative. You use your power again to project negative energy onto others, or to promote things that are not viable, that are not authentic, to just promote lust in the pursuit of sensational satisfaction, literally sex, you can even say. It's just you being lustful for the things of the world without them really having any true place or value within your spiritual self. The Queen of Wands is balanced in that, and that's what we're being called to. I wonder if I can move this over and put her up top. So I'm gonna try to go for just one more row down. I know she can fit here, right? Yeah, but I don't know if it gets cut off on the other side, because I can't see with this device. All right, so there's that. Look who it is again. Oh, I didn't actually mean to take her out, but maybe I did. Look who it is again. He's fast and furious toward that passion, trying to consume it for self, wanting to perhaps, align with it for his own personal gain and his personal interest, and even feeling a little bit entitled to it. That's that past energy coming back in again, seeing that you've evolved into your pure self, and that you're looking ahead into your future, and even being in expectation for, divine experiences as we begin this reading with the Ace of Pentacles. That's new opportunities to express your passion, to expel your magic in a sense, but in a pure and prosperous way. This energy is coming back to see if he can get a piece, but nah, that's up to you. But if by my opinion, it's a no. You know, this is not a king, you know, and it was a king in the other spread, but this was the energy that that was connected to it, which means that individuals might come looking like they're kings and that they're, you know, they have something to offer, but in actuality, they're looking more to gain than they are to invest or even align. Okay, so be careful about past energies coming back, old friends, old boyfriends, even old opportunities, wanting to realign, old partnerships, wanting to pick up where they left off. You know, you have to be really, in this Cancer season, tune into your emotional intelligence to know, how do you feel around that person? How do they make you feel? Do you feel good about that connection? That person, that place, or a thing? Does it feel valuable to you? Does it leave you with a productive energy? If not, then it's a no. Yep, see, because that's that energy holding on to you, you know, not wanting to let go from what was prosperous. Perhaps they squandered all their energy away, because that's the Four of Pentacles, which is even less than the Five. You know, this card isn't altogether negative, because it can also mean that you're being very conservative about your energy, your money, your time, your attention, your interest. It can mean that in the highest vibration, but in what I was speaking of, and it could mean that with this Three of Wands here, like you're not spreading yourself thin all over the world, you know, trying to be connected to any and everything. It doesn't even have to be like in an intimate way. But as I was saying before, you know, that Knight of Wands is just looking to get in to get in where he fits in, you know, literally. That's not the energy you want to be in, because you might find yourself in a place that is not conducive for your good whatsoever. If anything, in the highest vibration, you might want to conserve your energy, really think about the investments that you've made, and consider how you get to invest moving forward. Where are you spending your time? With whom? Where is your attention going? What are you allowing yourself to you know, to attach to you? What are you watching? What music are you listening to? What food are you eating? You know, really take stock of your well-being overall, and consider how that's contributing to the value of your life, you know. So that's in a masculine and feminine perspective. Overall, that's the message for us all. All right, come on, let's give me a couple more. Too many. Almost there. I don't want to be more than 30 if I can help it. Oh, this shuffling is ugly today. Is that it, Spirit? Is that all we had to say? Okay, here we go. And protect your passion. You know, protect yourself from, let's see, yeah, that's protecting your passion, protect your peace. That goes into the same thing that I was saying about conserving your energy, reserve it for things that are going to add value to your life and that you can add value to. These wands are like an obstructive force in this card. You know, it's really, and it's also you standing your ground. That also is the projection of this card. That once you establish a position of power and prosperity, to stand firmly on that. Trust yourself. Don't necessarily be manipulated or intimidated, even, is what I hear, by outside forces, by external forces that are trying to persuade you to do something different than what you feel is valuable to you or is natural to you. you know, to think about it that way, like your innate passion and power and creative force. Wands are creative energy, so you don't want anything to force you into creating something. Oh, back to what we were saying originally, you don't want to be creating things that are being influenced by energies that don't have your best interest at heart, or just have their own best interest at heart. You know, you have to decide where you align with those interests, and then stand your ground firmly, stay in integrity with all that you do, you know. And let's see. Oh, and there was the Two of Cups, which is back to those agreements, literally agreements. You aligning with those that are in you know, that make sense to do so, you know, not fake agreements, you know, not position you, don't get back into those relationships. And here's the Death card under here. Don't get into those relationships that are dead end and that have no value, maybe even for comfort's sake. You don't want to fall into that, because yeah, in this state and time, something that could feel temporary could end up being very permanent. As I was saying before, this is almost like a marriage card, right? As I was saying before, you know, people get into these arrangements that were, you know, seem harmless in the beginning, because you want to project an image of, you know, coupledom on social media, and you want to maximize your return by having two heads better than one. But then you end up having kids, and you have properties, and you have businesses, and you know, your even your secrets are intertwined, because this is also like a secret society energy in a sense. Your darkest secrets and things are intertwined, and then you have to decide whether or not you can trust that person if you do leave. I don't even know why that's coming up right now, but I'm sure there's a lot of that going on as some of these like inauthentic relationships are being dismantled. Well, we know that is actually, if you think about it, where people expose each other on social media and stuff. Like, you got to be careful who you align with, because even in business, it's almost like you creating a marriage with someone. And then social media right now with these couples channels and things like that, it kind of is like that. It's like a marriage. It's almost hard to separate, because you have stocked your success in one another, you know, so it's a union in itself. But again, make sure that it's a sacred one, you know, one that is going to advance you and evolve your position in the world in a pure way, and in a way that's prosperous and productive. I keep saying those words because it's important, you know. Not when we talk about prosperity, we're talking about lasting return and reward, not quick, you know. And it could come quick, not saying that it can't, because the Ace of Pentacles, as in the beginning of the read, could be something that kind of comes out of nowhere and feels quick. But as we determined in the beginning, it actually took some time. And most things that have true value do take time, you know. So if it's something that presents itself to be a quick fix or a quick return or a lick, you know, ultimately, like we do this and we get rich quick or whatever, or just something like you just do casually with no regard for how it can be more long term, you know, you got to be careful who you choose, you know, all about choice, who you choose to align with in that regard, because you could end up in a marriage that, you know, is not most favorable, that could, you know, put you in a position of rest, whether it be on your own regard. This is like somebody literally being laid to rest. And it could be you having to take a seat and you know, lay yourself down from all the mental exhaustion, sword energy that you've expended just trying to keep up a facade, you know, or trying to maintain something that just wasn't meant to be in the first place, you know. So again, just be careful. Just be careful. All right. Ooh. I'm not going to take those, but look who it is again. Gots to be more careful, King of Swords, with the balance card in the bottom. That's about balancing your energy energetically so that you can be an attractive force, and allowing it to be balanced for you, not resisting that balance, because sometimes we get all the cues and signs and signals that something just isn't working and it's time to release it, but because it has gained some value in a material sense, or it affords some comfort or some, expression of security or stability, we hold on to it for dear life, thinking that, we could ultimately work it out and make it work for us. But you end up putting yourself in a position where you have to be defensive, against your surroundings. This is surroundings that you created on account of holding on to things that don't have true value or don't have a high value. And you hold on to that, and you're surrounded by the enemy, pretty much by enemies, because of how you've invested your energy again. But the key is for it to be pure and authentic and righteous. Righteous is what I hear. Righteous. And righteous doesn't mean religious. Righteous means it's an integrity with what you know is best for you, and what's, again, has true value, that's not influenced by lust or by material affluence. It has to satisfy you from a spiritual sense first, meaning, can you live with the decisions you're making? Are you empowered with the connections that you're building? Are you proud of the creations that you're manifesting? Is it something that you would be happy to leave behind in your legacy? Or, and from every angle, not just on the surface, from every angle. Oh, shoot. Okay, and there's that Ace of Wands. I'm going to take one more with that. Not Ace of Wands. Eight of Wands, which is fast communication, fast movement. Yeah, because like I said, there's like fast change in the air right now where, change is happening whether you relent to it or not. And if you are resistant to it, you might find yourself in a shitstorm, is what I hear in this card. Like, this could be good energy coming towards you, or it could be negative. It could be positive, or it could be negative. It could be productive, or I can't find another P word for the adverse of that. But yeah, ultimately, it could be to build or destroy your life, ultimately, based on those decisions of passion that you make in the most authentic way. That's the call here, to be authentic and pure in your passionate endeavors, and align them with others that are in the same vein, so that you are so that what you're attracting from an ethereal essence is from that higher octave. Because of course we know what we sow is what we reap, right? So if you're going to continue sowing phony ass seeds into the world, into this earth realm, you're going to keep on getting phony results, results that are not satisfying from a holistic point of perspective, from holistic experience. If you sow from your authentic self, from the things that you love to do and the things that you see of value in your your production and your contribution, and you actually enjoy what you're doing. How about that? Because the Queen of Wands definitely likes to have a good time. You actually find joy and peace and passion and comfort in what you do. Those energies are going to multiply in dividends. You won't even be able to keep up with the results that you get in this time. Maybe it hasn't always been that way based on what's been projected to us, because we've seen the opposite, right? That you kind of got to sacrifice yourself, the integrity of yourself, in order to really gain any success or victory or satisfaction in a material sense. But this is implying that no, it's input equals output. You know, whatever you invest into your endeavors now, whatever energy you expel into the earth now, as authentic as it is, as high vibrational as it is, as high frequency, as pure, passionate as it is, productive and prosperous, that is what you will see in return in dividends on the dollar. It won't be a match. It won't be dollar for dollar. See, look at this. It's almost like 8 times the return right here from the queen with the 1 wand to the 8 that's coming down. You see that as a return. Even here, the 3 to the 8, you know, it's a high return and reward for those that are willing to be unapologetically authentic in the earth right now. You know, fearless. Queen of Wands is fearless in her pursuits. You know, she conquers life on from a very courageous perspective, and she's very unique and very attractive is what the Queen of Wands is, not just to the eyes, you know, from a physical standpoint, which she is, but she literally is an attractive force because she leads with her passion. And when we lead with joy and all those, you know, all those high vibrational energies, when we do things that are grounded in that, that's what the return yields, you know. And the encouragement is here that your efforts will not and have not gone in vain, that every way that you've invested yourself in the earth, even to date, but certainly beyond, is going to be returned to you. And perhaps, again, back to the beginning, in that form of that eternal seed of prosperity that comes from God, that comes from the universe, that comes from the divine. That's a reward for your ethereal energy, for the exertion of your energy in the earth. It's the return for that, for your fearlessness to, you know, offer it freely without inhibition, but not allow it to be perverted for temporal pursuits or temporal returns. Okay, so I think that's it. Let's see what's on the top. Yep, and there's the balance, equal give and take. This is community being restored, and there's money again, you know, but it's really about the balance in this card, that, you know, that society, you know, this is how I'm feeling, like society on the whole is going to be balanced, so that those that were once disenfranchised or disadvantaged, you know, or at least felt like they were when they were being authentic. You know, a lot of people didn't feel like they really got paid for their authenticity if you didn't kind of, you know, bend to the ways of society in a sense, and you stood your ground. You may or may not have received the return on your the harvest of your labor quite yet, or may have seemed like it took a long time to come. You know, as these 3 cards here, it took a long time to come through, because it seemed like, you know, people that were doing the worst were getting the best of the rewards. Well, that's being turned upside down. That energy there, what I was talking about earlier today in another video, is like this transfer of wealth, where those that didn't have now do have, and those that did have but didn't necessarily gain by justifiable means, or I keep saying pure, but there's another word that I'm looking for, but I'll just say righteous for now, that gained by unrighteous means are losing. And now there's a turnover in society where the prevalent energy can be, it may be a slow burn to get there, but the prevalent projection of power and authority is of those who are authentic and are pure and do work and create in integrity, you know, are not pandering for likes and subscribes and shares and donations and patronage and things like that, but that really just create out of the passion of their desires, like out the pureness of their hearts, you know, and they create from that and they offer from that in a way that is productive to those that partake. You know, now, whereas once before that might not have seemed too prosperous, it very much so is now. Just stay the course, stay in integrity, stay focused on what you believe your purpose is in this life as a creator, and as a contributor to our experience, our existential experience. And as long as you do that, I'm sure that you will find the return will be more than favorable and pleasurable as well. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. I feel like there's more that I could say, but I'm going to leave it there. Until next time.